Well, the semi-finals of AFCON are upon us, and man, what a round the quarterfinals was. Didn't disappoint at all. Lots of drama, crazy goals, slight upsets, and here we are, man. The competition's really heating up, and we've got four of the best teams here for sure. So I think this is definitely the best AFCON I've seen in recent memory. Two crazy games with two different storylines, and you just don't know which way it's going to go. So very exciting times, but let's get into it straight away. The first game, Egypt versus Senegal. Now, just like Egypt is Ivory Coast's bogey team, no matter how good their team might be or how it looks, dating back to that 2006 to 2010 era where Egypt was extremely dominant, but Ivory Coast had Yaya Toure and Drogba and all these guys in their prime. The Ivorians still couldn't get it done. But now, I think Egypt is much the same with Senegal. In the last 5 encounters, Senegal has won 4 of them, and it's also come at the most important times. AFCON 2021 and then the 2022 World Cup qualifiers where Egypt were bundled out by Senegal and missed the World Cup in Qatar. And I know on the Egyptian side there's a lot of noise, the team and the fans want retribution, but I don't know if they're going to get it this time. Senegal is just an all-round complete team, and we've seen that from group stage all the way up until now. They've scored the second most goals after Nigeria with 11 goals through the tournament, and they've only conceded 3. So a very formidable team, and you can see why they're the second highest ranked African team by FIFA. On paper, this is just a world-class team. I think everyone plays in the European leagues bar Koulibaly, Mane and Mendy. And then you look at Egypt, you've got 2-3 guys who play in Europe, and then the rest are all local players. But the thing about Egypt is they just know how to win. They get AFCON 7 championships. That's no fluke. So you're doing something right. Which is why this is a very intriguing matchup. I think Senegal will try and hold on to possession, and I think Egypt will let them and really just sit back, have 5 guys at the back there, and really press those wingers. Those Senegalese wingers, especially Iliman Ndiaye, who's just a wizard. Will it work just like how it did with Diallo and Diomande? Who knows, but I think that's what Egypt will do, and probably have Marmoush sitting high on the counter. So anytime Egypt is able to win the ball back, they'll just swing the ball to Marmoush or Salah. But then again, I think Senegal is a lot more disciplined than Ivory Coast, so that'll be interesting to see how Egypt can counter that. It's really a toss-up. I know Senegal has cruised their way to the semi-final. They really haven't missed a beat, whereas Egypt have had it a lot tougher. It took a 90th minute goal by Salah to get over Zimbabwe. Then they held on for a 1-0 win against South Africa, and then they drew against Angola, and then it took them 120 minutes to beat Benin. Last week was their first convincing win against Ivory Coast. So it just goes to show, this isn't the Egyptian team of old. Whereas Senegal have really just pillaged everyone they've come across. No team has looked close to matching them so far from the teams they've matched. I just have a feeling that Senegal will get it done again tomorrow, and I think it will be a 2-1 victory to Senegal. Now, this next game is going to be an absolute battle of the heavyweights, Morocco versus Nigeria. Now, in the previous round, I actually predicted Nigeria to lose to Algeria. I thought, the way the Algerians had been playing all tournament, very disciplined, very solid on both sides of the ball, defense and offense. Whereas Nigeria, they've looked clinical offensively, but on defense, they've been very flimsy. But that wasn't the case, man. I think Nigeria just dominated start to finish, made Algeria look so ordinary that it wasn't funny, and I know those 3 guys up front get all the credit, but it really starts in the midfield. Ndidi, Iwobi and Onyeka. Now with Ndidi being suspended, I think that takes away from the team a bit, that veteran presence and that know-how just to win the ball back in the midfield. And Iwobi, man, what a tournament Iwobi's had. He has just looked he's looked like Zidane. He looked like Zidane against Algeria. And that service and delivery to the forwards has been world class. So whoever steps up to replace Ndidi, I think will have big boots to fill. And whether they do a good job or not will go a long way, because on the other side, Morocco's just looked formidable as well. They've conceded the least amount of goals, and they really just toyed with Cameroon. It was only 2-0 in the end, but the game was just all on Morocco's terms. Cameroon could not do a thing. Every time they touched the ball, Morocco was able to win it back. So that midfield trio of Morocco Khanous, Ainawi, Saibari. Between them and the Nigerian midfield, whoever's able to come out on top, will go a long way towards deciding that. Also, we saw how Morocco dominated the possession count against Cameroon. I don't think that will be the case this time. I think it will be something more like 53-47 or 55-45. It'll be a lot tighter. I don't think Nigeria are gonna respect Morocco all that much to just let them attack and they just sit back and defend, which is why I think this game will be a shootout, honestly. And both defenses have their work cut out for them. On the Moroccan side, Messina and Agerd, they have the impossible task of containing Osimhen, who's just, man, he is made defenders look so ordinary this tournament, especially the Algerian defenders. I didn't think it was going to be that easy for him, but he really made them look ordinary. And on the Nigerian side, they have to deal with Diaz, who's been the best player in the competition so far, Ezelzuli on the left wing, and El Kabi, who definitely moves around a lot and causes defenders a lot of headaches. I think whichever forward line is able to come out on top will decide the outcome of this match, which is why I'm predicting a very high scoring affair, 3-2 to Nigeria, and I think we're going to get a Senegalese-Nigerian final.